Alrighty, guys. Welcome. April 14th, coming at you. Game of Thrones, Season 8, Episode 1's tonight. Awesome stuff. Obviously, we're here to talk about some Game of Thrones, but we'll throw a little Walking Dead in there, too, if you want to talk about it. I got my Titleist hat on because it's Masters Sunday. I got that on the TV as I do the live stream here, too. We're excited for a lot of good stuff going on this weekend, coming up for the month of May. On there, how we doing? Just gonna wait to start to go in a little early today, about a minute or so early. I like to do that just to, I'm an early kind of guy. Well, hopefully we're here to talk about some Game of Thrones and have some discussion. But like I said, spoiler warning for Game of Thrones and anything people want to talk about. If you're watching it on the replay, I'm excited to talk about a bunch of things. We're here to talk about Game of Thrones, but we'll talk about a little bit of Walking Dead or anything there too, even though there's not much been reported for The Walking Dead. That's next month for filming. But my man Ali and M King up in here. Where you been at, M King? Finally here. It's been a while. Where you been at? Frank, happy Throne Day. That's a good way. Happy Throne Day for the throne for sure. Jimmy asking a Walking Dead question. That's all right. Do you think Morgan and Alpha interact in an episode? I don't see that happening. I don't see Morgan and the Whisperers talking at all, interacting at all. That just doesn't make sense based on the timeline and stuff there. But you never know. So, M King, what's up? We got some book news. I'll talk about that for sure. And I got watching the Masters. Pretty interesting stuff. That's really the one golf outing that I do watch, even though I went to the Valspar that was here in Palm Harbor. I watched a little bit of that while I was there. Pretty cool. Mark Simmons, hey, what's up, man? Welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, no problem. I thought it was cool. Hopefully you like the message that I wrote in there for sure. Awesome. Fran, happy for tonight for sure. I'm excited for tonight. It's been super long. So I know I talk about a lot of thanks, Juan, for my collection in the back. I got various stuff. I got Game of Thrones, Walking Dead stuff behind me, and my Peter Griffin thing, of course. But, yeah, the Game of Thrones, man, we didn't have it all last year. It's just crazy because Game of Thrones took a year off, filmed the last season, took their time, did it right, went there and beyond. I wonder if The Walking Dead's ever going to do that, too. Because The Walking Dead has been filming May to November. It's just crazy, So I wonder if they're ever going to take a year off and film. Because if they were going to do anything, it would probably be soon. But I guess not. They're going to keep it rolling. Be Smur? Do you think it would be Carol who actually kills Alpha instead of Negan? I don't know. I'm not sure what the writers are going to do. Because the writers do a lot of crazy things and twists and turns on the show. And the same thing with Game of Thrones. They've mixed it up from the book series, the comic book series for The Walking Dead, and the George R.R. Martin novels for the Game of Thrones. They have some differences on there for sure. So if anybody likes Game of Thrones, there's 60 minutes tonight. They're going to talk about a couple of different things. In Game of Thrones, the cast and some crew will be interviewed there on the show. So if you want to watch that, and then as well, 9 o'clock tonight is Game of Thrones, episode 801. So it should be awesome for sure. Epic Zombie Killer. Hey, Brian, would you say Game of Thrones is better than The Walking Dead? I say they're definitely different. I say that Game of Thrones is a better show across the board. Better writing, better, a budget, I'm guessing. Just better storytelling. You don't have to wonder what was this. You don't have to watch an after show to watch what happened and to find out that the Whisperers went south and they migrated. It's just kind of explained. It's just better explained for things on there too, Jackie, that's a great question. I'm not sure exactly how long it is tonight. I believe it was reported that it's just under an hour. 58 minutes, I believe, but I'm not sure exactly what the total runtime is because a lot of different reports, and you're going to get previously on in this. It's going to be, that and the intro, and it's going to be there. So I'm not sure exactly what the runtime is 100%. Kang era Daryl Q&A, was it addressed if the second spinoff will be multiple seasons or just a one-time thing? That's a good question. So he's talking about Walking Dead. I don't know. We don't know anything besides it's going to be two female protagonists in the world of The Walking Dead, in some world of that. So it's probably in the time jump later on in the world of that. So I'm not sure exactly, what it's going to be, and that's okay. We're going to find out when we get more and more information, but we find out 2020 is going to be a big year for The Walking Dead. So Corey said they think it's 55 minutes. So that's about that 55, 58 minutes, what exactly it is. So 55 minutes runtime for tonight's episode. It's a good starter. I think it's going to be a big time episode for finding out what's building up for the next episodes. We only got 6 episodes, guys. We have 6 episodes, and then Game of Thrones is done. It's sad. It's a sad thing that we're on the way out. It's going to be sad when The Walking Dead does the same thing. Hopefully not for many more seasons. M. King, Q&A, how do you think Daenerys will react when she finds her dragon and it's sort of alive? That's going to be crazy. I don't know. I mean, when anybody sees the Night King riding the dragon, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be like, oh, crap, we're crazy, right? Because that's a big thing. And my wife and I, we went back and watched all the seasons so far, except the last 2 episodes of season 7. We got 6 and 7 left to watch. We'll watch that today, going right into the episode tonight. And it's just one of those things where they've been building it up, doing this, doing that, setting things up. And there's little things here and there, like when Ed talks with John, and John's like, don't burn my body just yet. Is that saying that John is going to have you killed and have to be burned? And Ed actually survives the night watch? It's kind of crazy little things you start watching there as well. So, Mr. Maniac Z, when can you watch the episode? Tonight at 9 o'clock. It's on at 9 o'clock. So Kang Daryl going back between Walking Dead and Game of Thrones stuff. It's all right. I don't mind talking about The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones. I love both things. And if you want to talk about Game of Thrones or Walking Dead, it's good. What if Maggie and Georgie will show up in the new show since they already did the script for season 10? Well, they don't already have the script. They have a baseline for stuff. They had probably the first episode and a couple things done. I don't think season 10 is totally done, but I see the spinoff being younger teenagers or, different characters. They should be different characters in the world. And it's also going to take place in Virginia. I wonder if they're actually going to film in Virginia. I don't know if that's actually the word or not, but it's going to take place in Virginia. So if that's actually where it's going to be, that's supposedly where the Walking Dead universe is right now, even though it's filmed in Georgia and they say it's Virginia. Is that what it's going to happen here? They film in Georgia, say it's Virginia, or are they actually going to film in Virginia? We just don't know. I don't have much information besides that too. So I wish I had more information, but once I do, I will have more and more for it. So let's see what you guys got. Deb's stopping by to say hello. Thank you for coming by, for sure. Jay Twin on tour wanted to say, been watching Game of Thrones. Brilliant. I thought it would be rubbish, but like I said, just judge a book by its cover. Most of the actors are British, for sure. You can't judge a book by its cover, and that's a good point, because when you look at my book series, the book covers are stuff that happened in the books, what happens in that book itself. So if you look at it, the first book says beginning, and it's got a path down there and someone running. Not really connected with the zombie apocalypse too much, but it's a zombie apocalypse book series, so you can't really judge a book by its cover. But Game of Thrones is one of those things that my wife and I started watching it. We got season 1 done and some big twists and turns. It's just nuts, right? And then you get to season 2, and then you meet all these new characters. Some of the characters for sure carry over. They always do, but it's like, all right, who are these people now? And I didn't read the book, so I wasn't familiar with stuff like that. And it's just like one of those things where you're like, come on, I gotta learn new characters. And after the big twists and turns after season 1, we're like, really? Are we gonna continue with this show? And I actually gave up on it. I didn't watch it for about a year or so. And then talking with a physical therapy student at one of our clinics, he said it gets really good after the half of the second season. And the Game of Thrones is only 10 episodes. So about episode 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it gets really good. And we came back to it, and I'm really glad we did, because it gets less characters. There's still a bunch of characters. The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones have a ton of characters. And that's actually pretty awesome. It's a good universe. It makes it bigger than what it is. Before, when you watch Seinfeld, it's like the 4 main characters and a couple smaller characters, but it's the 4 main characters. When you watch Friends, it's the Friends. It's the, Rachel, Ross, all the Monica, all those people there. And then when you watch House, it's the doctors, and